My name is David Esrati and I'm running for Dayton City Commission. It's late Monday, June 1st, 2009. There have been some big news events today. One, General Motors declared bankruptcy, and two, NCR is moving to Georgia because the state of Georgia offered them $8 million in tax incentives. Now, the governor's response was to offer them $31 million in tax incentives. That's serious money. That's your money. That's my money. Right now, we're suffering an economic crisis. You and I are having a hard enough time paying our taxes, putting gas in the tank, and putting food on the table. We're worried about our jobs, not about the jobs that are leaving, not about the jobs that could be, but more importantly, we're wondering where all this money is coming from. And I've got to say, this tax incentive financing for corporate America has to stop. It's bad enough we've bailed out the insurance companies, the banks, the automakers, and now we're still dealing with the effects of corporate welfare. Politicians make lousy venture capitalists. That's not their job. Politicians are supposed to be good stewards of your and my tax dollars. They're supposed to make sure the streets are paved. They're supposed to make sure that the parks are out there for our kids to play in, that we have good schools, that the police show up when you call them, that the fire department puts out the fires and takes people to the hospital. Yet, more and more, we see them meddling in business, and it hasn't been working. It was a couple years back that the state of New York hired away our whole executive suite from NCR, the highest paying jobs, and lured them to New York City. And not too many years before that Procter & Gamble bought Imes and made Clay Mathiel one of Dayton, the richest men in the world. However, the Imes company was getting a tax break from the city of Vandalia. It seems like, to me, that when a company is getting a tax break from the citizens and then gets bought, the taxpayers should get their money back. That's not been the case. It's time to stand up for your tax dollars and say, we want it back. Corporate executives aren't losing any sleep as they lay off American workers, cut jobs, and fatten their paychecks. However, when you or I declare bankruptcy, it's a whole nother matter. I can guarantee you that the president and the CEO of General Motors are sleeping fine tonight, while you and I are worried about the values of our housing, the values of whether our jobs will be there tomorrow. I'm not some sort of slick politician. I'm a small businessman. And to me, it's a simple business equation. Our tax dollars are supposed to go for the greatest good for the greatest number. CEOs don't care about what happens to the greatest good for the greatest number. They worry about making sure their payroll, their own payroll, is met. At this point, we're not going to see NCR come back. Dayton's going to take a staggering hit in terms of income from tax revenues from the employees that are located on South Patterson Boulevard. There is something we can do. It's time to contact every legislator you know and say enough's enough. That we have to stop spending tax dollars for economic development. It's time to say enough's enough and no more incentive packages to relocate and to make it illegal to move jobs from one place to another with any tax dollars in the mix. I'm urging you, as soon as you watch this video, to start looking up your legislators and calling them and saying, it has to stop. I'm David Esrati. If I get elected, I will be that voice saying enough's enough. It's time to stop. But until then, it's up to you. Thank you very much. Good night.